Hi everyone, I'm John McCririck and I want to welcome you to episode 21, 10 and 1, episode 21 of the Ask Big Mac show. We're 21 today. Unbelievable, isn't it? Reached 21. What a milestone. The nation absolutely agog. They've got to 21 Ask Big Mac shows. There'll be celebrations, there'll be dancing in the streets. Actually, dancing in the streets to get them off the air, but we'll keep quiet about that. Anyway, welcome to episode 21. We've reached the 21. Now, before I get started, make sure, I say this all the time, you subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's my YouTube channel. I know people are putting two fingers up to it, but I'll put one. So yeah, that's the YouTube channel. Okay, Booby, let's get on with the show. First question, interesting one or not? Do you think this is a question that will test my cranium?
I don't really know.
Oh.
Mike Kehoe from Facebook asks, first question, has racing lost credibility punters due to recent bad publicity about bent trainers and jockeys?
Well, it's not just recent bad publicity, it's publicity down the ages, isn't it? But this is a question that's affecting all sports where money is involved, and nearly all of them are. Athletics is in terrible trouble. The tennis, people are saying, well, that's been bent. The cricket, that we've been a cricket. It is a football. It is absolutely terrible. And in racing, the integrity is the most single important factor in racing. If people out there don't believe what they say, and especially as they bet so much money on it, if they don't believe what they're seeing, then there's no future for the game. And that's why I think it's the most important thing for the ruling body, the BHA, whatever you invest in and whatever schemes for promoting racing you have, the most important thing is the integrity issue, the dope testing and the betting that goes on if jockeys are involved or whatever it may be, and they have done a lot. There's no doubt in the last 10 years there's so many jockeys now who are not owners, who are not able to come onto race courses and take part in the sport. So much has been done. But punters are the same the world over. They always blame anyone but themselves. So if the horse is beat, the jockey wasn't trying. Easy thing to say that. But in the end, jockeys want to win. It is the days of laying out a horse for 18 months for a great big coup in the Cesarewitch or the Cambridge. Those days are long gone. So racing is straight. It is, not every horse runs on its merits all the time. Not every horse is trying flat out in every race. I fully accept that. But generally racing is straight is not bent. But then people would say, oh, well, you're in the game. You would say that, wouldn't you? And there's a point for that. So we've got to ensure that as much money is spent on the integrity issues, the bringing back, I think Fergal Lynch, for instance, being allowed to ride, having said that he actually pulled a horse and stopped him winning, he should never be able to ride again. So I think the penalties must be even harsher than they are. But integrity, without integrity, the game is lost. Right, question number 2, Bilby.
Alan Corcoran is question 2 from Facebook and asks, is horse racing becoming more and more a rich person's sport?
Well, it always has been, is the answer to that, Alan, isn't it? Racing always has been the peers and the nobles and the aristocracy, and then we've had the Greek shipping tycoons and the Indian moguls and the American wealthy people and the oil money and all that. It always has been. But the great thing is, to counteract that, the syndicates. There never used to be syndicates. Now you can join a syndicate and you can be, for a small sum, you can become a part owner. And it's tremendous that it brings people in. So the opportunities are there which weren't there before. But in the end, it's always been a rich man's sport. It's a hobby. You're spending money on a hobby. Now, my hobbies including, I won't say womanizing, but I'll certainly say smoking cigars, for instance. So I like a cigar, so it's a hobby of mine, got to pay for it. So racing is one of those things that you put money in because it's your spare enjoyment money. But it always has been for the rich, have been able to get the very best, but doesn't mean that you can go in a syndicate and you won't get a top-class horse by a chance. You might be able to do it. So racing is open to people thanks to the syndicates, but yes, it is a rich man, a rich woman's sport. But a great thing is, we've got the Arab sheikhs in, for instance. Nobody's ever saying that they're stopping their horses from winning. Punters have terrific confidence in the Arab-owned horses, that they're not going to sort of try and get a good handicap mark and that kind of thing. So they are gentlemen and women in the sport from overseas especially, who are wealthy, who contribute so much to the game, and the punters have faith in what they're seeing. So yes, it is a rich person's sport. I just wish I wasn't in penury. I wasn't penniless. Imagine if I was a multi-millionaire. I'd bring in my horse. I'm going to run him here. I'm going to do that there. I'm going to Coolmore, got nothing on me. Sheikh Mohammed and Godolphin. Oh, I'm going to wipe them out. That sort of thing. I'm going to win the Gold Cup and I'm going to win the Champion Hurdle. I'll be a fantastic owner. I'd show everybody what a great owner I'd be and the intelligence I'd use, and my horses would be so good. But I'm a dreamer. I can barely afford to keep 3 Labradors and 2 cats, so I can't afford to keep them, let alone the booby. She's far too costly. No filly on earth costs as much as the booby costs to me. Go on, booby, get this question.
That's a matter of opinion.
Oh, booby, listen, we'll wipe that off the tape. I do not want any. I'll get on with it, booby.
Question 3.
Yeah.
Stephen Young on Facebook asks, have you ever thought about hosting your own game show?
Oh, Stephen, it's, to think of that is, actually I go back to Huey Green and Michael Miles and all those kind of things. That's where the hosts in my day used to be. No, I wouldn't like to be. I've been on quite a few of them, and it's bad enough being an actual guest on them. And having to sort of think up answers to these absurd questions. Actually, we did Celebrity Pointless a year or two ago, me and the booby, and we actually won it. Unbelievable. We were so bad. You cannot believe no one has ever won. That should be a question on Celebrity Pointless. Who's won it with the least intelligence and the least number of negative points, whatever it was? And it must be the booby and I. The pair of us are absolutely hopeless. So no, I'll be a guest in it. But having to control everything and be listened to by the director, very hard with your director giving shouting at you, the men and the women who are up in the galleries shouting and screaming. I couldn't bear all that. And these egomaniacs who go on. Think of people, how they're bloated with their own importance and they're going to win money and all that sort of thing. So I couldn't stand any of them. So absolutely no chance at all. I wouldn't ever host a game show. But nobody would ever want me to host a game show either. Isn't it awful? And I don't think they pay very much. Or do they? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Thanks you all for watching. Now make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm fed up with pointing at this thing. I'm going to put 2 fingers up there very soon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and keep sending in your questions on Twitter at Real McCririck and Facebook /Real McCririck by adding hashtag #AskBigMac. If I didn't answer your question this week, it might be next week. Sometime, somehow, somewhere, your question will be answered. And we've got, this is the 21st edition. Imagine the 221st and the 2021st and the 2,000,021st edition. Stay for them all, and maybe your question will be asked of me by the booby. Go on, booby. What other question have you got? You haven't got one now. No. Slash it off. Cut it off. 2021 coming up.